Even though F1 is about the cars and the racing, it wouldn't be as engaging without its drivers and their personalities. Like this guy.
Give me a Pierre Gasly, alright? 3, 2, 1.
Short recap, Ricciardo injured his wrist during a practice session at the Dutch Grand Prix, which has led to Liam Lawson being the 4th driver to race for AlphaTauri this season. If you want a recap on how Ricciardo got back into F1, you can check my video here. Now, Liam has performed incredibly well over the 4 races that he's competed in. Notable achievements being surviving the onslaught of the Dutch Grand Prix weather, knocking Max Verstappen out of Q2 in the Singapore Grand Prix by 7,000ths of a second, which led to it currently being the only race that Red Bull haven't won this season. And of course, scoring points in his 3rd ever F1 race. In 3 races, he is no longer the lowest scoring active F1 driver on the grid. So, you'd think there's an opportunity for this driver next year, right? Well, you'd have hoped. AlphaTauri recently announced their main drivers for the next season, which turned out to be Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo. Now, Daniel had only competed in 2 races before getting an injury and starting recovery. But if we compare the average finishing positions of Daniel and Liam over the races, Liam comes out on top. So why would they choose Daniel? To speculate, Yuki has came out and said that Daniel's expertise has helped the engineers find ways to improve the performance of the car. To quote, he can definitely tell more details about how the car is behaving. I think the engineers like it, especially how he talks and helps the development side. If the team wants to develop the car to be more competitive, maybe Daniel. Another reason would be his name carrying a lot of weight within the industry. He has diehard fans and the charisma to bring more people to the sport. He also crosses a tad into the typical celebrity status, being in advertisements and all, but in terms of general exposure, Daniel definitely outshines Liam, until he has enough PR chances to show his personality and get people to root for him, just like people do for Piastri. So what happens with Liam? Well, that puts Liam back in the reserve seat for Red Bull and AlphaTauri for now. To quote Christian Horner about the situation, his responses were, "There are no guarantees of anything in life. He's done a great job, he's really impressed us, he's done exactly what we could have asked for in terms of grabbing the opportunity in Daniel's absence to really show his capability. That's turned some heads and it's done him a lot of good. We'll keep developing him when he goes back into that test and reserve role, and he'll be a candidate, certainly, for 2025. Daniel is expected to make his return, potentially at the Qatar Grand Prix. So, we'll see how he performs the rest of this season. If you enjoyed this video and found it informational, then a like is appreciated. It does boost the exposure so more people can learn about what is happening within the sport, or at least get a recap of recent events. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.